drunks in a smoky joint full of naked women, and after a while the naked women were just bothersome. You wanted them to put clothes on. I can't explain it. It's one of those strange things in life. You start to think you wouldn't have to bounce in the first place, throw drunks in the parking lot, if they didn't serve alcohol in there and have naked women running around shaking their tits and sticking their bush in everyone's face. Then you realize if the place wasn't like that, you wouldn't have a job. It's a bit like being a preacher. If there wasn't any sin, you'd be hosing down oil at a filling station. Which, come to think of it, in either case, bouncer or preacher, was sure to be a more honorable profession. Way I felt lately, naked women were one of life's miseries. I hadn't seen my woman, Brett, naked in some time. Fact was, I wasn't sure she was my woman anymore, and what I had done for her had changed my life, made me blue and sorry and sad about the needs of the flesh. It was my feelings for her, both emotional and physical, that had got me in some business that had resulted in deaths. I dreamed about those people at night. They came to me in bursts of gunfire, powder smoke, and screams. Their faces were huge, and they howled at me with mouths open so wide I could see fillings in their teeth. And beyond that, the abyss into which we all go. What I had done had a certain justification, but certain justification and justification aren't the same thing. I had been on the edge of violence before, and had acted in self-defense before, but in this case I had gone in with the full understanding and the design that I might have to take human lives, and had. I had left there wounded with blood on my shoes. Since Leonard had been with me on this horrid escapade, I asked Leonard if he had the same problems, the same dreams. His answer was simple. The dead people were assholes. As for dreams, no. After it was over, me and Brett kept in touch, made love a few times, had dinner together, went to movies. But there was something missing, like a hamburger without the fixins. Part of it was the fact she was trying to bring her daughter, Tilly, back to normalcy. Problem was, Tilly liked being a whore, just not a whore against her will. I guess it beat wanting to grow up and work as a politician. Truth of the matter was, Tilly was one hell of a good whore. She was pulling down big change over in Tyler, where the Baptists like sex good as anybody. I liked sex too, but Brett wasn't for it anymore. Not really. Last few times I had felt as if I were having a kind of desperate aerobic workout. You do it 'cause you think you're supposed to and it's good for you, but you don't like it, and you end up sweaty for little to nothing. I felt as if Brett ought to have a light on, be reading a magazine, have a pair of scissors at hand so she could clip coupons. Making love to her was kind of like I was trying to beat something to death with my pelvis that was already dead. Frankly, it wasn't the kind of loving made a man feel hard as steel, or even firm as Greek-age bronze. Unspoken, we bled sex out of our relationship, and pretty soon we bled the relationship out of it. I had talked to her by phone a few times. She dropped by the Plant at dinner break with Kentucky Fried Chicken once, but it was all pretty uninspiring. If I remember correctly, we talked about KFC's biscuits most of the time. They're good biscuits, by the way, but they can't beat Popeye's, and neither's biscuits quite match up to a loving relationship. After that, I saw her once more. Then all went quiet on that front, and I had pretty much decided from here on out it was the bachelor life for me. Sex and chicken processing, two of life's great mysteries. Leonard drove me around the big chicken plant lot to my car. We did this every night. I parked on one side, he on the other. If we went out the front door, he gave me a ride to my car. We went out the back, I gave him a ride to his. We could have parked side by side, of course, but we like to add a little adventure to our lives. And it gave us a few minutes to talk about whatever we felt like talking about. Most of it just stupid stuff about the chicken plant, a quick survey of our present lives. Since I had moved out of his place, we only saw each other at the job site these days. Weekends, I enjoyed punching the heavy bag, skipping rope, and feeling sorry for myself. It had one side benefit. I had lost weight. I hadn't been so trim since I had a stomach virus and a full week of vomiting and diarrhea. Only now I felt better and wasn't gaining it back, and I could live life without having to always be near a commode. Leonard had a boyfriend he was seeing, and that kept him busy. I had met the guy, and he seemed all right.